Hello friends, and welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson we'll be learning about even and odd numbers. But today we'll focus on even numbers. When we say even, we mean whenever something is splitted or shared between two persons or two things, we end up having exact number for both persons or for both things. Now, let's take an example. We have two persons here, Ali and Jeff, and we are going to be sharing our squares with Ali and Jeff. Now, example 1. We have two squares. If we are to share our squares into two, that is, share them between Ali and Jeff, we'll have to give Jeff 1 and we'll give Ali the other one. Both Ali and Jeff has 1 squares per person. This means 2 is even. Let's see another example with another number. What if we have 4 squares? How are we going to share them between Ali and Jeff? Now, we are going to share our 4 squares into 2, and we have 2 for Jeff and 2 for Ali. Jeff has 2 while Ali also have 2. That means 4 is even. 4 is an even number. Now, moving on, we have 6 squares. If we are to share our squares into 2, Jeff would take 3 and Ali will also take 3. There are no remainders, there are no squares remaining. That means 6 is an even number. Whenever 6 is splitted into 2 persons or into 2 groups, we'll have each group having equal number, which is 3. So 6 is an even number. Let's take a look at more examples. 8 is also an even number. When you have 8 squares and you share them between 2 groups or 2 persons, here we have Jeff and Ali, or you have 2 groups, each group will take 4 squares. That means 4 for group A and 4 for group B, or 4 for Jeff and 4 for Ali. That means 8 is an even number. There are no squares remaining, so 8 is an even number. Whenever a number is splitted into 2 and there are no remainders, that means that number is an even number. Here, 8 is an even number. Also, 0 is an even number. Yes, 0 means nothing and we can't share it between anybody, but any number that ends with 0, that means any number that the last digit is 0, can be divided into 2 groups and there will be no remainder. Now, 10 is a number that has 0 as its last digit. When we split 10 squares into 2, we have 5 for group A and 5 for group B, or 5 for Jeff and 5 for Ali. That means 10 is an even number. There are no remainder or there are no squares remaining, so 10 is an even number. Remember, any number that ends with 0 is an even number. Therefore, 0 is also an even number. So, we've talked about 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8 as even number. But are they the only even numbers we have? No. Now, to get more even numbers, we have to place these even numbers we've talked about as the last digit. If we want to make new even numbers, we just have to place the old even numbers we've talked about behind other numbers. For example, we have 0 as an even number. If we place 0 behind 2, which is 20, 20, 20, 20 is now an even number. Now, 2 is an even number, which we know, but when we place 2 behind 3, which makes 32, 32 becomes an even number. So anytime we have even numbers behind any number or as the last digit of any number, that number as a whole is even. We also have 4 as an even number, and if 4 is placed behind 5, 54 becomes an even number. 6 is also an even number, which we've discussed earlier, but when we place 6 behind 4, or when we place 6 as the last digit, here we have 46. 46 is now an even number. 8 as an even number, when placed as the last digit, makes the whole number even. So 78 is an even number. Anytime we place even numbers as the last digit, or if even numbers are the last digit of any number, that number is also even. Here is an activity for you. From 1 to 20, write out 5 even numbers. I will see you in my next class. Bye.